Okay, so I think in the previous tutorial we have added this ABP layered blends anim graph to our ABP locomotion anim graph by using this linked anim graph node. And we connected the sequence evaluator to get the blend pose, but I haven't added any logics to do that evaluation at here. Right? So let's do that today. Right. So I'll create one update function to get the override and impose for our start pose. So I'll create a new binding and I'll call it as update anim override start state. Right, somewhat similar to here. So we have one update start anim layer, which is anim node function. Like here, and here we have another anim node function. Right, so I'll assign this to this category anim node functions. Maybe update anim override start anim layer. That could be a better name. Right, and then let's go to that function and start implementing it. Right, so obviously we have this anim override data structure that has been used, which is start post cached. So let's use it to get our anim sequence. So if I break it, here we have the anim sequence, which can be used to drive our sequence evaluator. Right, so first I'll get this node and convert to sequence evaluator, and then you can call set sequence with initial blending with this context and with this sequence, and as the blend time I will keep the default one. Plus we can set the explicit time here as well, so we can actually play that animation on runtime. So for example, like we did here, so here actually we are using the advanced time by distance matching, but here actually we can do the same thing, but for now let's follow the naive approach, which is setting the explicit time for each frame. So let's get this one and set the explicit time. The time should be the start position onwards. After that we can return. Okay, and this should happen only if we have a valid override weight which is greater than 1. Actually it is being checked at here because this blend pause will be applied when the weight is being greater than 0, otherwise it will be the base force. But for safe side we can add that check into here as well. It won't be necessary, this is just a countermeasure. Right, so I'll get the override pause and check whether we have a positive weight or not. So if we have a positive weight, then we apply these initial blendings. Okay, Right. Now I think we can do some play testings. So let's play test with the pistol and see how it works. Yep, it is working. So here, if you remember, at the pistol for jog, I added this anim override called default. So by default, I'm overriding start forward L90 with the jog forward start, and similar to that, I'm overriding R90, L180, and R180. And I applied this override by using this one, which is weapon system. Not here. Locomotion system actually. The locomotion system, I'm applying this default override. So when it triggers this pistol with the default override, it is being applied these start forward facing anim overrides to our existing start forward facing animations. Plus it will be applied based on this specific blend mask, which is upper body mask, so that upper body will play the whatever the anim overrides that we specified here, and the lower body will play the animations that is specified by default at the start forward facing, right? So that's what actually happened here. You can see like now we don't have forward facing any beam played at the upper body. Instead it will simply keep playing that anim override animation at the upper body, but at the lower body it's playing that default forward facing anim. Okay, you can actually see it clearly if I unplug this layered blend, and this was the one which we had before. So you will see actually what will happen. There you can see now we don't have applied any sort of anim overrides. It's simply playing the existing start forward facing anim. Right? So you can see actually the pistol is sort of going away with its default arming state or aiming state, which is not quite good, right? So that's why actually we use this anim overrides, so that we have much more controllability of our anim sequences. Now you can see like it's not changing its aim at the upper body, which is what we want. Okay, right. So now we have to do the same thing for rifle and sword as well, because you can see like for the rifle actually it's still not applying that anim overrides because we haven't specified any at our data table, right? So let's do that right now. So for the rifle, what we can do is we can specify anim override for jog, which is default, and let's configure it real quick. So the forward facing, I can keep it as empty, or I can simply use the existing one at here, which is rifle jog forward start. So let's copy it, paste it here, and for the configurations I will use maybe 0.4 100 and upper body mask, right? So you can see actually animation how it's being played. So ideally it should be like this. Okay. So I'll copy and paste the same configuration for the rest of the stuffs, considering the forward facing. So L90, R90, L180 and R180. Okay, right. So we have this stuff at here. So let's play test rifle and see whether it's been working properly or not. Yes, it is been working. But here you can see like the left arm is not quite oriented with the rifle holder, because actually we have to resolve some IK for fingers as well. But for now I think this would be fine. Later on actually we can see how we can resolve those IKs and other stuffs. Okay, now let's test the sword. Yeah, sword I think we can keep it as it is, but let me quickly see my documentation. Yeah, maybe we can add some gray stone forward facing enemy overrides as well. So let's go and check the jog. Start forward facing. Okay, we currently doesn't have any start forward facing. Maybe let's add the start forward facing similar to here. Maybe at the unarmed stuffs would be fine. So I'll add the start forward facing for jog at sword and imset. And then we can implement some enemy overrides. So we have this greystone jog forward start. So I'll copy that thing. And let's go to enemy overrides and let's add a default enemy override category. And as the forward, I will use this one. Configurations maybe 0.3, 1, 10 and 25 would be enough. So let's paste the same configurations for the rest of the fields like this. Okay, then let's play test and see how it works. Yes, now we have a proper enum override. Okay, okay, all of them are fine. Now let's play test walk state. The walk also fine. Yeah, I think it's all good. But let's check the unarmed state as well. So for the unarmed jog, we have this start forward facing stuff. So if I test it, it's okay. But I think maybe we can override its upper body as well. Because here you can see like sometimes it's sort of a feline animation it is being played, which is not quite good. right? So let's add an anim override to there, and I'll use this one, jog forward start. So this is for the unarmed anim set. Default and configurations 0.5, 1, 10 and 0.25 would be enough, right? And I'll copy the configurations, paste it here and here, finally here. Now let's play test unarmed. The animation override is been applied, but it takes too much time to blend. So I'll make the interrupt speed as 0 and blend time as 0. Oh, maybe not. Interrupt speed, let's make it as 100. Sorry, 0 and sorry. Let's edit from here, 0 and 0. Yeah, I think this override may have some issues. Yes. Yeah, so let's remove this anim override. We don't need it, I guess. We can have this stuff, I believe. Right. So we have unarmed stuff, pistol anim overrides, rifle anim overrides, and sword anim overrides. Okay, so I think that's all what I wanted to cover. And this is actually sort of a long section that we have to cover, which is anim sequence overrides. Because we have to go through multiple different instances and add multiple different configurations. But at the end, we have a very good and sophisticated data-driven animation locomotion system. So you can see like how we can easily add any sort of anim overrides without modifying our existing code, right? Which is great. So nothing is hard coded and everything is data driven through this locomotion system. Okay. So finally, let's do a final play testing. So this is our unarmed state, and this is the pistol anim overrides, and this is rifle anim overrides. For rifle anim overrides, tap speed, let's increase this one further. Okay. not quite happy with this anim sequence. Instead, let's use backward start. Backward start. Start position can be 0.2. This one is 0. This one is 10.25. Okay. Should be up a body mask. Now let's play test and see. Okay, this one would be fine. Right. Okay. And for pistol, we have proper anim overrides. And for sword also we have proper anim overrides. Yeah. Plus I think later on actually we can further improve this locomotion system anim swappings. For example, like you see, there is a small snap that happened when it do a transition from one anim overrides to another. That's a very insignificant small snap, but even such stuff we can smoothen out later on. But for now, I think feature wise we have a very good system to override our existing anim sequences. So I did small configuration changes. So I just noticed that for pistol at the anim overrides we haven't added any start forward facing stuff, because by default it applies this jog forward start. So similarly, we don't need to actually add any start forward facing animations for rifle. So earlier it was backward animation that is being played at here. So I just removed it and make its override weight as 0 as well. Okay. So this anim override may not be applied or won't be applied for rifle. Right. So that's a small change that I've been done. So if I play test it now, and you will see now we don't have like a sort of like a snap in between animations, right? So it is smooth. Also for pistol it works pretty much smooth. And similarly for the sword, yeah, for the sword actually we can keep the forward facing anim as the Greystone jog forward start, even if we added the unarmed jog forward start here. So at the lower body it will play the unarmed jog forward start, but the upper body it will play this Greystone jog forward start, right? And the override weight as 1, right? So for sword I think it's nice to have this anim override for forward start as well. Otherwise it will have some issues, right? So I can actually demo it by making this override weight as 0. So you will see whenever I equip the sword, if I start it, it will be played that unarmed anim, right? Which is not quite good. But if I make it as override weight as 1, and if I play the upper body animation as Greystone jog forward start, you will see now it's looks nice, right? So the upper body is playing Greystone jog forward start, and the lower body is playing unarmed jog forward start. Okay. And for unarmed, still I haven't added any anim overrides, because I think for unarmed state the current implementation would be fine, right? Okay, so those are the changes that have been done. Those are just minor changes actually, but yeah, in case if you using exact same specification for DT anim set like I do, please be aware of those changes, right? Okay, I'll see you there. Thank you.